2005 sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. Today we're talking about Rob Zombie's second film, The Devil's Rejects. With a budget of $7 million, this film grossed $21 million worldwide. It got a rating of 55% on Tomato Meter, 78% Popcorn Meter on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 6.7 on IMDb. I am not kidding you. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not talking horror films. I'm talking all around in general. One of my favorite films of all time, The Devil's Rejects. Spoiler alert, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 on the must-watch meter, but we'll talk about that a whole lot more right after we do our top 5 interesting facts. Fact number 5. During filming the movie, Bill Moseley, who plays Otis, refused to shower. That way he could better get into the mind of Otis Driftwood. Talk about method acting. Interesting fact number 4, Sherry Moon Zombie's brother actually has a role in this film. He was on set the day of filming and was able to fire a gun. So Rob Zombie said, hell yeah, put on a cop uniform. He's in the opening sequence with the shootout. Interesting fact number 3, actor Taylor Maine, who plays Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's very criticized Halloween remakes 1 and 2, has a role in this film. He plays Rufus Firefly at the beginning of the movie. Interesting fact number 2, Karen Black, who originally played Mama Firefly in the first film, demanded a significant pay increase to shoot the second movie. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the budget, and Rob Zombie had to recast her. She was then played by Leslie Easterbrook, which is unfortunate. I think Karen Black would have played that part great. I think she definitely could have been very seductive, and I think Leslie Easterbrook did a fine job, but it's unfortunate that a little bit of pay dispute made us suffer as an audience. Interesting fact number 1, when Captain Spaulding steals the car at the convenience store, he is stealing it from PJ Soles, who is horror film royalty. She played Linda in the original Halloween, and she plays Norma in Carrie. She has been starring in horror films for a long time, and she got sucker punched right in the face by Captain Spaulding. I'm giving this film a 9 out of 10 on the must-watch meter. I love this movie, and I'm about to get into why I love this movie so much. We're giving it a 3 out of 5 on the jump scare meter. There's a few jump scares. We're giving it a full 5 out of 5 on the chills meter. This is one of the freakiest movies that I've ever seen, and we're giving it a full 5 out of 5 on the gore meter. Rob Zombie knows what he's doing. He is fucking awesome. Let's get into it. So the film starts out with some newsreel clips giving us the backstory of the original film. If you've never watched House of a Thousand Corpses, you're not missing anything. You don't need to watch anything from that movie to understand this movie, which is perfect. It's great. The second scene of the movie is Tiny reintroduced, and he is hauling a dead body through the woods. It is a naked woman, and if you watch these special features, they had to actually develop kind of a protective area for her downstairs because sticks and leaves were jamming in there. The third scene, the police are entering the compound, and it's filmed to look like a lot more, but there's about 10 cop cars that pull in. And in the fourth scene, pretty much it's a standoff. The family is awakened, and the police are there. They're on the megaphone, and pretty much all hell is breaking loose. We are now 7 minutes into the movie, and shots are fired. All the Firefly family are at the windows. They are in protective gear. Shots are fired, and all hell breaks loose. This starts off kind of an action movie. Definitely has a way different feeling than House of a Thousand Corpses. It is a completely different movie, and just so much better done, honestly. It is fucking great. I love this movie. After almost a 4-minute firefight with the police and the Firefly family, a couple of the Firefly members of the family escape, and it cuts to the title sequence at 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Title sequence and Midnight Rider playing in the background, and it's just one of the most epic openings to a movie, in my opinion. It is still frames of shots. So all of this long story to explain all of this was just cut down into just images. So that's how the story is told of, this is how Sherry Moon Zombie and Bill Moseley get away. That would be Otis and Baby, how they get away from the family. It's this slow still frame montage, and I absolutely love it. It's got it. When it comes back to the movie, it's like VHS footage of the crime scene from both like the police perspective and the news reporter's perspective. This movie's much more of a comedy. However, it's not a comedy at all. It's just this demented family has some great lines. Right before the firefight, Karen Black looks at a baby and she's like, "Oh my God, you were so precious whenever you were a little baby." And, you know, it's a touching moment. And baby just goes, "Yeah, I know, Mom. You've told me that a million times." Like, it's not a comedy at all. And it's not set up like a comedy. There's just a lot of very funny lines. When it first cuts to Captain Spaulding, he is having sex with a woman. Pretty graphic sex. And it comes to a climax. There's a little storyline. At the end, she shoots him, and he wakes up. You know, it was just a dream. He wakes up, and his girlfriend next to him goes, "Did you have a bad dream?" And he goes, 50-50, which is fucking hilarious. It's great writing. It's not a comedy, but it's still really funny. There's a lot of really good lines in this movie. 50-50, yeah. I climaxed, I came, and then I got shot in the face. Yeah, 50-50. Immediately, he gets up and he goes to the bathroom, and it's perfect cinematic. Like, he walks into the bathroom, he lifts up the toilet seat, you think, and then it cuts to, and you think it's going to cut to him pissing, and instead it cuts to a cup of coffee being poured. It's really good. Rob Zombie's good at directing movies, in my opinion. Leave a comment below, but I think he's great. Captain Spaulding finds out the news on the television, and he starts to run. He gets a phone call from Baby. When he's running to meet Baby, he calls his brother Charlie, introducing a new character of the family, which I think is awesome. And his brother Charlie says, "I don't think it's such a good idea that you come down here." So that kind of foreshadows an event later in the movie. I love Rob Zombie's style of editing. He uses a lot of like really cheap slide transitions and things like this, but they go a little bit slower. So I think they work really well. At the hotel room, Otis and Baby break into a hotel room and take it over. There's 5 people in there. And when they're breaking in, it's just, this is so mundane, so casual. This is every day for them. This is just nothing out of the normal. They're pointing guns at the 5 people, and Baby goes, "Oh my God, look at that jacket on TV." And Otis goes, "What jacket?" Oh yeah, it's a nice looking jacket. Like, this is just Monday. It doesn't matter. They're just complete psychopaths. It's so good. Just that little line of dialogue. Yeah, it's funny, but it also just explains so much deeper of who these characters are. As mentioned in our 5 facts, Captain Spaulding steals a car, and he threatens the mother, then hits the mother. He gets in the car, and there's a kid in the car, and he's, fucking with the kid. And it's funny. I mean, it's demented, it's tormenting, but it's funny. And he's like, "Give me whenever I come back, you better have a reason why you hate clowns, or I'm going to kill your whole fucking family." And I laugh. I mean, it doesn't sound funny. It's like reading transcript of Lenny Bruce comedy. Like, it doesn't sound funny, but it's fucking funny. It's really good. This sets up one of the most terrifying scenes that I've ever seen in a movie. I dated a girl, showed her this movie, and she literally had to leave the room for this part. It is one of the most terrifying scenes ever in a movie. And there's probably 3 scenes in this movie that I absolutely love and are probably some of my favorite scenes in a movie, which makes this maybe one of my favorite movies of all time. The scene in the hotel room where it's tight tension, they've already killed Brian Posehn's character, which, by the way, fun little fact, Brian Posehn could have had a stand-in lay on the couch all day for him while they filmed the rest of the scenes. He didn't. He is such a fan of horror and such a nerd and a fan of Rob Zombie. He's like, no, I'll lay there all day long. I'm fine with that. Put me on the couch. I'm good. I've got a bullet hole in the head. I'm good. I'll just stay there. He did that all day long. He's just a little quick shout out. Good job, Brian Posehn. But in this scene, they've already killed Brian Posehn, so they know that he's for real. They know that their life is in danger, and they're just toying with him and fucking with him. Baby's dancing and singing, and then Baby steps aside, and Otis Driftwood starts fucking with him, and it's some of the most vulgar scenes that I've ever seen in my entire life. While filming this, some of the crew had to leave and go vomit. Rob Zombie is quoted as saying, "Art isn't safe." And I agree with him. This is not something that I would be like, "Oh, you gotta see it. It's such a great moment." But you've gotta see it because it will send chills down your back. It's the most horrific scene I've ever seen in a movie. The tension, the score building, Panic acting is amazing. Mrs. Sullivan of Sullivan Band, her acting is fucking phenomenal. It is just a helpless feeling. It is just a panic act of fear and helplessness. You can stare at all the characters in the room and you know they can't do anything. You feel trapped in that room with them. It is one of the finest moments in cinema that I've ever watched. It's really moving. I understand it's disturbing, and I understand to word it this beautiful, eloquent way is kind of disturbing in itself. But it's just this feeling of helplessness that you are trapped in. It's so weird to describe. But at this point, Otis starts making degrading demands of stand up, take off your clothes, and then he starts doing stuff with his gun to her, and you can look at the man and know that he can't do anything. He knows that he's helpless. It's really eerie. The fact that he tells her, tell me to make me your whore and things like that are just shocking. There's a lot of close-up shots. Like it's a really eerie scene, and it's hard to describe. If you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely watch it. But I've had a girlfriend that left the room. She's like, I'm not watching this. This is just too disturbing. It's uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. After all of that, the boys head out and they've got an errand to run. We go to a slow slide transition and we got fooled around and fell in love on the radio, which leads to a great comedic line. Otis is talking to Sullivan, and he's like, oh, you like this music? Sullivan's just like, yeah, I guess. He's like, oh, I didn't realize, I thought you were a big cowboy. You just turn out to be some city F word for homosexual. With a cowboy hat. It's a funny line because the characters are disturbed and inappropriate and vulgar, and he's just attacking them. He doesn't need to attack them. They're already like done. They're down. They're broken. And he just keeps pushing. They go to an old chicken farm, and they actually found this while shooting on location. They went to this place, and they were just like, okay, this is going to work out perfect. The chicken farm had been shut down, and it was like everyone just left. You can hear him talk about it in the extra features. And there were still chickens left in their cages that just died there. It's a very eerie place to film something, and it sets up the second scene in this movie that I love so much, and another one of my favorite scenes in a film ever made is them walking out to the desert to dig up some guns. As they're walking out there, Bill Moseley is still poking and prodding him a little bit, and he says, boss, I think I can still smell your wife's pussy stink on my gun. Which you don't need to say that. And then he tops the cake by saying, hope it don't make the barrel rust. Like, this movie has a lot of very disturbing, funny lines. I think Rob Zombie's great. I think all of this shit is funny. And I laugh at that line every single time. It's fucking hilarious. After that, he switches his attention to the other person. And he's fucking with him then. He's talking about his wife. And she's got, these little cute titties. And I bet she could relieve some tension and all that. And earlier in the film, when they're holding them hostage, he pukes all over the bed and all over his wife. And so when they're in the desert, he's just fucking with him and giving him shit. And Bill Moseley goes, does she like it when you puke? Is that part of your deal? Just tormenting these two poor characters. And to me, it's hilarious. I don't know. Am I sick? Am I twisted? Leave a comment below. But after a little scuff, a little duel, they think they're going to get out, and he hits him with a stick. He hits Bill Moseley with a stick. They get the gun for a second, but Bill Moseley turns around, gets right back in control of the situation, shoots one of them in the neck. He's bleeding out, and before he starts beating to death Grandpa Sullivan, he looks at him, moves his hair away, and says, I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work. And it is one of the most terrifying, chilling scenes in a movie. The way that he has to hold his hair back because the wind is blowing so hard. His true admission that, no, I'm here just to fuck everything up. It is bone-chilling. And then he proceeds to bash Sullivan in the face until he's completely dead. He then goes over and cuts the other guy's face off. It's super disturbing, and it's weird to say that this is one of my favorite movies of all time, but honestly it is. The hotel scene, that scene right there, and it's set just perfectly as the sun's setting. The shadows are long, they cast upon the actors. It's really just a great movie. I love this film. As he's cutting the other person's face off, the screaming from the character is blended in with, I can't quit you, baby. in the background, and it cuts back to the hotel scene. It is screaming and singing blended together perfectly. It's such a seamless transition, and it works so well. Back in the hotel room, one of the women, the two women were left behind with baby, and one of the women says, I need to pee. I'm going to piss my pants. Baby's like, I don't give a shit. What are you going to do for me? So she makes one of the women slap the other woman. Then she makes her come over and degradingly say, thank you, baby. I had a good time, on her knees before she goes to the bathroom. It's just mind-fucking, and that's what this movie is mental torture and torment. And I can understand why my ex had to leave the room, but I don't know, I just, it's thrilling to me. This is such a good movie, so well written. After a little standoff in the bathroom, one of the girls die, and it's word again back down to the final girl. She escapes through the front door, and she starts running down the road, and boom, just like the first movie, Captain Spaulding. Oh, hey, you okay? You all right? Little does she know, boom, butts her in the head. She's out cold. Now, this is essentially halfway through the movie, so Captain Spaulding hasn't been in the entire film so far. He's in the very opening scene and then through the second half. But essentially, we're back to an action movie now. The whole horror aspect is now done. That was all in the hotel scene. There's a few more moments, but essentially, we're back to a horror movie. The sheriff, Wydell, who is avenging his brother, has gotten a few clues, so he contacts a film nerd who shows up and starts talking to them about producer in this and writer in this and acted in this, and it kind of made me feel like what I'm doing here. It's kind of worrying. But anyway, this film nerd comes in, explains the whole Groucho Marx backstory, and tells them every detail that they need to know. He then insults Elvis Presley, and of course, Sheriff Wydell gets offended by that because he's a good old boy, and kicks him out of the office. Back at the hotel room, Otis and Captain Spaulding are debating on what to do with the final girl. And Captain Spaulding says, leave her for the maid cleanup. And Otis says, I've got a better idea. Which kind of implements this power struggle between the two of them of who's going to lead this gang. It's kind of a little bit of tension within the group, which I really like that was thrown in there. And it comes up a few more times throughout the movie. But they decide they're going to put her husband's face, who Otis had cut off, on her face. They're going to hang her on the back door of the hotel room. The maid comes in, the lights out. She walks into the bathroom. She walks in, opens the window. She walks into the bathroom. She sees two dead bodies. She turns around to run. The front door is now closed, leaving the final girl hanging on the door to try and reach out and grab her. But she's got the mask of her old husband cut out and put on her. His face put on her. So the maid's freaking out, but somehow she gets down off the door, and she's just so terrified with everything that she's gone through that she just starts running away from the hotel. She gets into the street. She tries to flag down a car. Car goes past her, and she turns around and boom, gets hit by a semi-truck in one of the greatest, goriest bloodbath scenes that I've ever seen in a movie. She is laid out like 30 feet across the road. Blood, entrails, brains everywhere. It's so fucking good. I love this movie, man. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Please, someone like this movie with me. I feel like a psychopath, and everything that I'm saying about this movie is great. But it is. There's a little bit of sibling rivalry as well, as Otis and Baby are driving down the road with Captain Spaulding. They're heading off to their next destination. They see a sign for ice cream, and she's like, I want some ice cream. And Otis is like, fuck no, you're not getting ice cream. Then Captain Spaulding joins Baby, and he's like, no, I want some ice cream. Tutti frutti, tutti fucking fruity, tutti fucking fruity. And it's great. There's a little bit of rivalry there. Smash cut to, they've gotten their ice cream, and they're licking it and enjoying it. It's just a classic family. That's all it is. It's dad, daughter, and brother and fighting about getting ice cream or not. It's great. The little nuance in the dialogue is fantastic. I love Rob Zombie. Next thing you know, we've got David XS Rock On playing in the background. Such a classic 70s song to have in this movie. Speaking of which, quick interjection, the whole movie is built around a 70s score that is fucking phenomenal. It's really, really good. Rob Zombie spent a lot of money on this score. But they've landed at Brother Charlie's Frontier Town, which is this very large whorehouse that he runs, which has been established earlier in opening shots. However, Charlie told him, don't come here. I don't want you to come here. So when they get out of the truck, these two play a little joke on the other two family members of the Firefly family and start arguing, and he tells them to get the fuck off his property and shoots them with a water pistol. But the tension raises because we don't know, and it's just well-written dialogue. I like it. And then, of course, they all laugh, and they go inside, and they start doing drugs, drinking, partying with hookers. It's all kind of this montage. It's really well done, and it cuts to a Joe Walsh song, Rocky Mountain Way, that I absolutely love. Again, the score is such a big part in this movie. The soundtrack is just fucking great. He spent so much money on the soundtrack. I can only imagine what he spent on it. There are two characters introduced, Danny Trejo and Diamond Dallas Page, who are hired guns, essentially. And they're talking with Sheriff Wydell. Wydell's saying, I want you to go kill everyone. I don't want you to kill them, actually. I want you to beat them until they're almost dead. I just want to piss in their face before they die. That's what he quoted as saying. But in this scene, they're in this trailer park. They're grilling burgers. They're drinking beer. They're two white trash, like, really poor people. And Diamond Dallas Page is called up and says, your mom's on the phone. And he says, hey, hang on. She owes me $14. Which, again, is fucking hilarious to me. Like, your mom owes you $14. Like, the dialogue in this movie just explains everything about the characters so well. If you, just that line explains the entire character that Diamond Dallas Page plays in this movie. It's perfectly well written. It's great. So they break into Frontier Town. It's all set up by Charlie turning over on them, and they break into Frontier Town, they take everyone hostage, and Terry Reid song is playing in the background during this montage of events. And I didn't know who Terry Reid was. I love the 70s. I'm a student of 70s classic rock. I'm ashamed to say I didn't know who Terry Reid was, but whenever I first watched this movie, I was like, oh, wow, okay. This is a great song. And I looked up Terry Reid, love the man today, and there's 3 or 4 Terry Reid songs throughout this movie, and I credit Rob Zombie for my introduction to Terry Reid. It is so goddamn good, and it's just a sad and depressing song. It's like shoegazer music before Elliott Smith was born. It's really, really good. And it's such a depressing song, and it's so apropos in the moment. It fits in just perfectly. After Wydell gets there, they round up all the people, throw him in the back of the car, and he is losing his mind. You can tell he's losing his mind. He drives out to their house, and he is going to enact vengeance. He ties all of them, all 3 of them, Captain Spaulding, Otis Driftwood, and Baby Firefly, ties all of them to chairs and starts torturing them. And it is his descent into madness, which is one of the most perfect angles of this movie. Rob Zombie has now made the protagonist the antagonist, and made the psychopathic murdering family are now victims, which makes the entire audience now caring and cheering for the psychotic, grotesque murderers at the first half of the film. Like, you are watching these people torture these innocent people, and yet 40 minutes later, his descent into madness, Sheriff Wydell, is so well done that you are now cheering for them. You're cheering for the psychotic murderers. It is a work of art, the way that it transitions into this. It's so well done. Wydell loses his mind. He starts stapling pictures of victims to their chest. He's just fucking with them. He's got a cattle prod that he's prodding them with. He nails Otis's hands to the chair, and he's losing his mind. He releases Baby because he wants to go hunt her down, and then he lights the house on fire to attempt to kill Otis and Captain Spaulding. Not to ruin anything in the movie, which I kind of don't think I feel like I have yet. However, we have covered this in a pretty well deep dive. But Tiny saves the day. Tiny comes back. He saves the day. He saves the 3 people. I'm not going to tell you how or what, where, when. But he saves the whole day. And then he pretty much just understands the entire situation and realizes the reality of what's happened and what's going down. And he just walks back into the burning house. Otis tells him, we'll come back for you. But it's this depressing reality check of, no, everything's done, man. Like, this is, our family's over. This is it. Tiny had watched all of the actions fold out up to this point, and he knows the inevitability of the future of their family. As they're driving away, the house explodes and there is a shake in the camera, which Rob Zombie talks about in the commentary, and he's clearly pissed about to this day. But that was the cameraman who knew there was going to be an explosion jumping at the explosion. So there's a little shake in the camera, but it's slow motion and it blends in fine. I don't think I ever really noticed it until Rob Zombie went off about it, but clearly he's still upset. And now every time I watch this movie, I see that and I laugh because, yeah, dude, you know there's an explosion. Your job is to hold the goddamn camera straight. And the explosion happens and you jump a little bit, really? As the closing scenes come, it is an aerial shot from a helicopter of their car driving down this long, windy highway. There's no one else on the road, and it plays Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freebird, another classic 70s song put in here. And it doesn't just play Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freebird, it plays the whole fucking song. It's really awesome the way that the cinematography lines up with the build up in the song. It's absolutely perfect. They're driving down the highway. They're completely battered, broken, bruised, bloody. And it cuts to these clips of when they were happy. And it's the juxtaposition of these bloody, mangled bodies laying in the car after this horrific tremendous experience that they've been through for the past week or 2 days or whatever the hell it is in the movie, and these nice happy clips of the whole family next to the lake and enjoying themselves, and then Lynyrd Skynyrd in the background. It's such a well done ending scene. There's so much about this movie that I absolutely love. All of a sudden, Otis Driftwood stops the car, and it comes to an aerial shot, and you can see all of the blood-soaked bodies, and the car is just covered in blood. It's a 70s movie, so of course it's got shag carpet all over the car, and it's all just soaked in blood. It is horrific, and Freebird's still playing in the background. He stops the car, reaches back, wakes up Baby and Captain Spaulding, and you start to realize something's wrong. Why are they stopping on the highway? He starts handing out guns, and they wake up and they look up and they realize it's a barricade of police cars. They're not getting through it. We got to fight our way out. We got to we're going to Thelma and Louise it right now. We're going to die right now. And it's still Freebird's playing, and it's cool because in the slow motion shots in the background with no volume, just Freebird playing, you can't tell what they say, but they all laugh and they have one last family laugh together. And it ties back to, this is a family. This is just your normal, father, son, and daughter. Like, it's just a family, and they have this one last shared laugh together, and then they get ready, and they prop up their guns, and the music for Freebird starts kicking in, and it starts really going, and they floor it off, and it's just a shootout, and of course their bodies are shot and riddled with bullets, and it's well done because at this point it starts to go to just slow cuts of the movie and frame by frame to tell the story, and I love this movie. I think I've spoken passionately about it for 20 minutes now. It's one of my favorite films of all time. When I first watched this, it changed everything that I really thought about cinematography and film. It's really, really well done. It's great to me. This is a wonderful movie to me. After the shootout, it cuts to just a black screen, and then it cuts to just footage of the highway from the helicopter without the car in it. And again, we cue up a Terry Reid song, and this time it's Seed of Memory. And again, I didn't know this song, and just hearing this song as the movie exits out, it's an open shot of an empty highway through the California mountains. It's beautiful scenery, beautiful cinematography. It's just great, and Seed of Memory in the background, and the whole song plays. It plays the entire song, and this is the only movie that I ever watched the credits all the way through, every single time. It's great film. It's so good. It's so beautiful. It's so touching. The music paired with the visuals are just heart-wrenching to me. It's a great way to cap off a wonderful movie. This is by far one of my favorite movies of all time. I know I've been rambling, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe.